Welcome back to McMahon's Garage. So today we're gonna do kind of an install of the Baja Designs Squadron lights. They have the 2 pod lights that you could do for your fog lights on your F250, but I didn't want to. I wanted 1, so I went with the Squadrons, and we have this side installed for now. So I went ahead and I mounted them in the bezel at the bottom. I wanted it at the top. The only issue with putting it on the top is you're gonna run into, wherever you drill the hole to mount this, it's gonna hit the bottom bracket of your light here. So I'm gonna show you how to do it on the other side so you don't have this big ass ugly hole here, but you know, it'll look good once they're on. And we got our wire harness fished through here because we're gonna do upfitter switches. So let's grab this light real fast and show you what you need to do first. So you're gonna order your Squadron light, which is gonna be this one. I did the amber because everybody likes the ambers right now, including me. And you're gonna want one of these extractor / insert tools for wires. So you can go ahead, you can get these on Amazon. Luckily I work with electricians and they had one of these that they let me have, ever so kind of them. But your light is gonna come pre-installed with this clip on here. So these prongs will be inserted into here, and you're not gonna be able to get this through a small hole. So in other words, you're gonna have that ugly ass hole like what I had on the passenger side of the truck. So essentially what this does is you'll pop that little clip up at the top there, you'll flip it up, you'll take this tool, you'll put it in here, which will then go over these prongs like so, and it'll push down the teeth for you. That way you can pull it out of the back side right here. And then whenever you put this back on, just make sure you have it the right way to where white is gonna meet up with white and black is gonna meet up with black on the male adapter that you're gonna have for your splitter. Yeah, it's gonna come from your upfitter switches to your splitter. So get on Amazon and order one of these because you're gonna need it. All right, let me figure myself out here real fast. So let me show you how we're gonna make this look better. So you're gonna need 3 holes just like this. They're gonna be 5/16 hole. I picked the 3rd one to put our bracket on, just so I can show you what that looks like. I tried to line it up with the 3rd one like that. So that's where the bracket will sit, pushed all the way to the inside of the bezel. And then we drill this hole on top here so that your wires can go through here instead of having that big ugly circle that I cut out before because I was impatient. I didn't want to go find one of those tools. And then this one, you're gonna have to hook up your Dremel just with like this nice little bit on here. And you're gonna have to open this up just a little bit more, but you can drill it initially with the 5/16. All I did was put it here, get something to mark where that hole is so you can screw in your Allen key for your light. You're gonna drill that out, and it's for this so you can fit, here's the little Allen screw that's gonna go into your light, but it's so that you can get this through here once you have this plate mounted on here, because you don't want this hole to be too big. I want to put the bolt and screw threads into the plastic here so that it's not like gonna waller out a bigger hole here, and then this would just be vibrating all over the place. So we'll go ahead and let's see, I gotta get the light, I gotta fish the wires through there. One thing I do want to point out about this though, if you're gonna do this, there's the good chance that this is not gonna hold up very well because it's mounted to a plastic bezel that's just snapped into the metal piece of your bumper. So I don't know, time will tell how good this works. I mean that the passenger side feels pretty secured and tight. So if you're not like out in the desert, you know, whipping your shit through the middle of the desert, you should be okay, right? If you're daily driving this and just hitting like back roads every now and again, you know, someone's gonna hate on me, but I'm essentially doing this for aesthetics, and then whenever we go driving to the mountains, we'll get a little bit better light in the mountains. So let's finish this real fast. So I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do before I do it, because trying to film this right now, I'm gonna be in the way of everything and you're not gonna see it. So what I'm gonna do, I already have my 3 holes drilled where everything's gonna go. So I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna put the mounting bolt through here, screw this in to where it's tight in the plastic. And then I'm gonna put the light on. And with the light, you're gonna get these little crush washers, if you will, that are gonna help it stay in place so that it doesn't vibrate up and down and it stays in the position it's gonna be in. So you're gonna have to try and slide these into the light. It goes in between, let me show you. Let me just show you the light. Where did I put it? So you're gonna have this light and it's gonna go whoop. So here's your screws. We're gonna put them in between here and the bracket. So the bracket will sit on this side and you'll put it pretty much crushed against the paint right here on both sides. We are gonna mount this upside down, right? Because we want the wire up through the hole that we drilled previously, whereas this is how they send it to you and how they want it mounted. But with the application that we're doing, we're gonna flip this one. Not a big deal, because you can just take these Allens out and flip your lens around so you don't look like a goofball. So anyway, since I'm gonna be in the way, I'm gonna try and fish these through that little hole. Then I'm gonna put the, whatchamacallit, the female end back on the end of this. We'll get this mounted into the bezel of the truck and hopefully get this wire harness hooked up. I can show you how to do upfitter switches for now. I mean, it'll be like 2 seconds for you guys, but I'm waiting on the mailman to bring my splitter, because this wiring harness isn't the one we need. So let's knock this out real fast. Here's our bracket. So got it as level as we can with that top line. Got our bolt in, and then underneath, oh, let's see, right up here, I don't know if you can see that, right there is our nut. So make sure you get that tightened before you put your light on, because if you do it like I did it on this side where I put the light on, so I put the bolt in on the back and then didn't put the nut on. So whenever I got this mounted, I had to try and finagle a wrench in here so I can tighten the nut on the back. So you want to make sure you double wrench this, because as you start tightening the nut on the back side of this, it's going to start loosening the bolt out of the plastic, and we're trying to keep the threads in there so we can keep it as tight as possible, since we are mounting this to plastic, which, like I said, is probably not the smartest thing, but we're going to give it a shot. And if it messes my truck up, it's better than it messing your truck up. So now we can fish these lights through the top hole right here, and then we'll start mounting our light on. Ugh. This is probably easier said than done, but let's see. It sucks because you got to try and get those stupid rubber pieces in either one at a time, because you can't bend these wires. Try and just push them in. There you go. Look at that. 5/16 is a perfect hole. So just kind of push that through. This is going to look way more clean. I'm so excited for those of you that follow this channel and you're actually going to do this, because your truck will look good on both sides, unlike mine. And then I'm being met with resistance here. There we go. Cool. So now I got that. So we'll put our light there, and we'll grab our little Allen keys, our crush washers, and the other Allen key that I freaking lost. That's fun. Oh, there it is. And these already have Loctite on them, so I don't think you need to do any more Loctite than what they already have supplied, but it might be wise of us to do it, but I'm not going to do it, so I'll let you know how it goes. And then trying to get this piece in is the biggest pain in my butt, because you got to get that freaking crush washer to line up with the hole on the light, which is a pain in the ass. Come on, today, Junior. I'm turning this off because watching me do this is probably fun for you guys, but I'm about to start cussing, so I'm going to turn this off for now. So that took way longer than I thought. But anyway, like I said, you can take these out, flip this over so that it says Baja Designs right side up. And it also says, ignore him. Anyway, this does have an O-ring inside here, so make sure it's sitting inside the channel so it stays watertight. As I said before, you can take this little cap off and flip it around so that, you know, if you care, SAE is on the bottom, Baja Designs is right side up, because we did flip the light. All you do is take those 4 Allen keys out, make sure you the O-ring that's inside of this is in place and not like crinked up in one corner or whatever, but you can go from it looking aesthetically good like that. Oh, hold on, before I go to the other side, see how much better that looks? Little tiny hole, can't see anything, versus what I did the first time, which you guys hopefully don't have to do, is drill that big ass hole to fit the whatchamacallit, the prong through. It was like that big. And then we disconnected it, and we shall reconnect it. I'll show you what that looks like real fast. So just so you know, I'm not full of poop. There you go. So we got prong side up here, which is this little prong. The white wire is going to be on the right side of the plug like this. So we're going to take our plug right here. We'll have the prong right here, and white wire will be over here on this side. So all we're going to do is sneak that wire in through this side, and then you'll close this down and snap it into place so it doesn't pull out. There we go. So we got our prong side right here. We got the white going through the right side, and we are all snapped in, good to go. We flipped this top down, snapped it into both sides right here and there. We're good to go. Now we're gonna have to take the wire that we routed here, and when the splitter shows up, we're gonna route it probably right here underneath the intercooler across. We'll clip it in here, tie it up here somewhere, tie it up under here, and then we'll tie this into the upfitter switches. So once that shows up, which will be 5 seconds for you guys and an eternity for me, we'll hook that up. To mount, or not mount, to wire these to your upfitter switches, you're gonna have this little box right here on the right hand side of your truck. It'll have these 2 little keys. You'll just put your fingers in here and like press the tabs, and it'll slide out, and then you'll have this grouping of wires, assuming you have upfitter switches. You'll have these grouping of wires right here. You'll have to take all the electrical tape off, and you'll have this little legend, and I'll show you like what colors are for what. I don't know if you can really see that, but anyway, you'll read this. It's on the back side here too. You'll read that. You'll figure out whichever one you want, like upfitter switch 1, then you'd put it on whatever 1 says. That's what you would wire it into. So you can see, so my aux 1 is this red one. It's wired into the green and the brown, which is the Raptor lights that are up here. So that's where they are wired to, and it is grounded. So this is the hot wire, and then it is grounded to the grounding terminal on the battery over here. So we'll do the same thing for the Baja Designs lights. We'll figure out which one is aux switch 2. I will wire it to that, electrical tape it, and then electrical tape all these back together, put this back down, and then I'll throw another ground on with this wire here, and we'll be good to go. So I'll just do it, and I'll show you what that looks like later. Okay, so you do have to look up the wiring diagram, but I want to make it easy for you. aux 2 is, there you go, aux 2 is the violet and orange. Aux 1 is the brown and green. And I can't remember off the top of my head what these other ones are, but a simple Google search will find that shit for you. So you'll just clamp this wire in here. I leave that piece sticking out just like I did with this one. Then you'll come back through and whatchamacallit, electrical tape the crap out of this, grounded this wire to here, and then now all we gotta do is push this down and route this probably right here so it looks pretty. And then gotta wait for the other harness to show up because I only have this one plugged in, so to be continued. Well, FedEx man came just in time. This here is our splitter. So we'll take this and it will go plug into our upfitter switch, and then we have a little shorty that'll go into the one on the passenger side. Then we got our long one that'll get plugged in to the one on the driver's side. So let's go plug these in real fast, and I'm not going to bother you with how I'm going to route this right now. I'm just going to route it because I have places to go. So I'm going to plug this in and show you what it looks like, and then we'll go over how I routed it. So here is our final product on this side at least, which is the pretty side. So we got the lens turned all around so you can read Baja Designs. Small little hole back there that you can barely see. Got this little one right here so we can get the Allen through there. Then we got the one drilled on the bottom. So lines up perfect, kind of gives you the symmetry there. I kind of wish I could have gotten it higher, but the bezel for the light sits down here, so you'd have to drill a hole through the light, which you don't want to do. So this is what we came up with, and it doesn't actually move that bad. It is in the plastic bezel right here, so it'll move a little bit, but it's not bad, and it worked pretty dang good. But if we get under here, let me show you how it's wired, or at least where it's routed. All right, so we're coming out from up here. We're gonna run through here, up and over the frame, right here, all the way across. This is underneath the valence. Then I kind of just bunched it all together right here, how it was folded from Baja Designs. And we have the splitter right there, and then parks right there. So anyway, there's our bunch, there's our splitter right here. Then it connects to this light, and we ran it up under here to the battery, which was, which we ran down by the air box. So I went straight down through this hole, connected it up over here, ran it alongside all the wiring for the lights and the Raptor lights right here. You could zip tie this if you wanted to, but it holds pretty good through here. And then I came down through here. What I did was I took some wire and tied wire to a wrench, dropped it down here to the bottom, and then I was able to get my hand underneath this liner right here and pull it out from the frame, because the wire comes down right here over the frame and goes that way. But there's our lights. Let me go turn them on for you real fast so you can see what they look like. Well, there you have it. Look pretty good. Not bad. Definitely lights up the road a lot more at night. I have it kind of pointing out a little bit more than I had initially wanted it, just because of the way that this is curved right here. It's not going to point straight forward because we're going to go with the curvature of the bumper. So it's going to point out to the side anyway, but from Baja Designs they say it's for zone 4, which is like from whatever the degree is off to the side of the truck to not necessarily right in front of the truck. So works out pretty good. I like them. I like the way it turned out. Like I said, if I could have gotten them mounted at the top of the bezel instead of at the bottom, I think that would have been better. But overall, I am pleased with the way that that came out. On each side, they both work. And we are wired into upfitter switch number 2. And Raptor lights are on number 1. Like always, thank you for watching. If you're not already, subscribe, like the video, and see you next week. See ya.